This is a conversation that takes place in Conversations with God Book 1. It is about a man who supposedly is speaking with God and gets answers back. This man is Neale Donald Walsch. I thought there was no such thing as wrong or right.
There is not. There is only what serves you, and what does not. The terms right and wrong are relative terms, and I use them that way when I use them at all. Remember, thoughts are creative. So if you think money is bad, yet think yourself good, well, you can see the conflict. Now you, in particular, my son, act out this race consciousness in a very big way. For most people the conflict is not nearly so enormous as for you. Most people do what they hate for a living, so they don't mind taking money for it. Bad for the bad, so to speak. But you love what you do with the days and times of your life. You adore the activities with which you cram them. For you, therefore, to receive large amounts of money for what you do would be, in your thought system, taking bad for the good, and that is unacceptable to you. You'd rather starve than take filthy lucre for pure service. As if somehow the service loses its purity if you take money for it. So here we have this real ambivalence about money. Part of you rejects it, and part of you resents not having it now. The universe doesn't know what to do about that, because the universe has received two different thoughts from you. So your life with regard to money is going to go in fits and starts, because you keep going in fits and starts about money. You don't have a clear focus, you're not really sure what's true for you. And the universe is just a big Xerox machine. It simply produces multiple copies of your thoughts. Now there's only one way to change all that. You have to change your thought about it.
How can I change the way I think? The way I think about something is the way I think about something. My thoughts, my attitudes, my ideas were not created in a minute. I have to guess they are the result of years of experience, a lifetime of encounters. You are right about the way I think about money, but how do I change that?
This could be the most interesting question in the book. The usual method of creation for most human beings is a three-step process involving thought, word, and deed, or action. First comes thought, the formative idea, the initial concept. Then comes the word. Most thoughts ultimately form themselves into words, which are often then written or spoken. This gives added energy to the thought, pushing it out into the world, where it can be noticed by others. Finally, in some cases words are put into action, and you have what you call a result, a physical world manifestation of what all started with a thought. Everything around you in your man-made world came into being in this way or some variation of it. All three creation centers were used. But now comes the question, how to change a sponsoring thought? Yes, that is a very good question. And a very important one. For if humans do not change some of their sponsoring thoughts, humankind could doom itself to extinction. The most rapid way to change a root thought, or sponsoring idea, is to reverse the thought-word-deed process.
Explain that.
Do the deed that you want to have a new thought about. Then say the words that you want to have your new thought about. Do this often enough and you'll train the mind to think a new way. You are what you think you are. It's a vicious circle when the thought is a negative one. You've got to find a way to break out of the circle. So much of your present experience is based on your previous thought. Thought leads to experience, which leads to thought, which leads to experience. This can produce constant joy when the sponsoring thought is joyous. It can, and does, produce continual hell when the sponsoring thought is hellacious. The trick is to change sponsoring thought. I was about to illustrate how to do that. If you want to change your root thought, you have to act before you think. Example, you're walking down the street and come across an old lady begging for quarters. You realize she's a bag lady and is living day to day. You instantly know that as little money as you have, you surely have enough to share with her. Your first impulse is to give her some change. There's even a part of you that's ready to reach in your pocket for a little folding money. At 1, or even a 5. What the heck, make it a grand moment for her. Light her up. Then, thought comes in. What, are you crazy? We've only got $7 to get us through the day. You want to give her a 5. So you start fumbling around for that one. Thought again, hey, come on. You don't have that many of these that you can just give them away. Give her some coins, for heaven's sake, and let's get out of here. Quickly you reach into the other pocket to try to come up with some quarters. Your fingers feel only nickels and dimes. You're embarrassed. Here you are, fully clothed, fully fed, and you're going to nickel and dime this poor woman who has nothing. You try in vain to find a quarter or two. Oh, there's one, deep in the fold of your pocket. But by now you've walked past her, smiling wanly, and it's too late to go back. She gets nothing. You get nothing, either. Instead of the joy of knowing your abundance and sharing, you now feel as poor as the woman. Why didn't you just give her the paper money? It was your first impulse, but your thought got in the way. Next time, decide to act before you think. Give the money. Go ahead. You've got it, and there's more where that came from. That's the only thought which separates you from the bag lady. You clear there's more where that came from, and she doesn't know that. When you want to change your root thought, act in accordance with the new idea you have. But you must act quickly, or your mind will kill the idea before you know it. I mean that literally. The idea, the new truth, will be dead in you before you've had a chance to know it. So act quickly when the opportunity arises, and, if you do this often enough, your mind will soon get the idea. It will be your new thought.
Why can't I do what I really want to do with my life and still make a living?
The people who make a living doing what they love are the people who insist on doing so. They don't give up. They're never given. They dare life not to let them do what they love.
This is the end of the conversation. I hope you have enjoyed this.